Okay, we are doing page 87 and 88, metric measures of length. 87 and 88. With the metric system, the meter is going to be your basic unit of length that you use. And so we have our meter, and I'll just kind of draw a line representing a meter here. A meter is going to be similar to the yard in the English measuring system, but it's going to be a little bit longer than a yard. You'd measure the same things that you'd measure with yards, you'd use a meter for. In the English measuring system, you have an inch. Let's let that line represent an inch. We'll say that's an inch. And then you have a yard. Well, you have feet before the yard, but we'll go to the yard. And then I'll draw a ray right here representing this line goes on and on and on forever. That's what a ray is. That would be we could say that's our mile. It would go on a long ways. Now, I'm going to back up and take these away. And now, let's go with, this is kind of like this can be our meter for the metric system. And instead of inch, our small measurement would be, which is even smaller than an inch, it's about 1/4 of an inch, will be your centimeter. So that's messy. This would be our centimeter. And then for what we would use instead of a mile in the metric system would be a kilometer. So the long measurement would be our kilometer. And this would be if we were measuring from, let's say, the school down to the street light in Paia. That would be about a kilometer. That'd be closer to a mile. But you'd use a kilometer to maybe measure from here to Kahului. And that's what a kilometer would be used for, just like a mile would be used. We have 4 different metric prefixes that I want you guys to begin to memorize. You may not have them memorized at the end of this lesson, but over time we are going to need to have them memorized. There's actually 6 different metric prefixes that you need to know. I'm going to quickly write them down. Deci, centi, milli, deca, hecto, and kilo. Now, prefixes would be the parts of the word that would come at the beginning. So these are metric prefixes, and after each of these we would add meter. Meter. I'm going to take a minute to write all these. Decimeter. Centimeter. Ooh, that's a funny R. Millimeter. Continue on. Decameter. Hectometer. And kilometer. So right here we have 6 different metric forms of measurements. 3 of these are smaller than the meter. That's the decimeter, the centimeter, and the millimeter. You're going to get 10 decimeters in 1 meter. So if this was a meter here, this line that I just drew, you could break it up into 10 parts. I'm going to attempt to do it on here. 1, 2, pretend these are all even parts. 1, 2. So this would be, if I have it right, I think I need one more line. I'll just squeeze it in there. Your decimeter would be one of these. It's 1/10 of a meter. Now, centimeter would be if you had your meter and you were to break it up into 100 parts. I'm not even going to attempt to do that. I can't squeeze it on here, but if I was able to put 100 separate parts, I'm just getting real messy, but it'd be a real tiny amount that we'd fill in. If you had 100 parts, it'd be one of those 100 parts of a meter. So a centimeter, to tell you, you got 100 centimeters and that equals a meter. And I'll go back for the decimeter. You have 10 decimeters and that would equal a meter. Millimeter is going one step smaller. Decimeter, 10 decimeters is a meter. Centimeter, 100 centimeters is a meter. Millimeter is even going a little bit crazier. And 1,000 millimeters would equal 1 meter. So that's very tiny. On your rulers, if you were to find a centimeter, there are 10 millimeters inside 1 centimeter. It's going to be very tiny. Very tiny. Way smaller than what I just did there. Super tiny. Because it would be like if I were to put in this stream here, if I was to put 1,000 marks. Looking at our decameter. Decameter is 10 meters. Our hectometer is 100 meters. And our kilometer is 1,000 meters. So decameter is 10 meters. Hectometer is 100 meters. Our kilometer is 1,000 meters. Let's drop down to 1A. It says fill in the blanks with the correct prefix. So we're saying the beginning part of the word, either deci, centi, milli, deca, hecto, kilo. So we're just putting the first letters, either 4 or 5 letters. Something meter, it says blank meter for 1A. It says blank meter equals 100 meters. Which one of the following, which one of the ones above out of the 6, which one equals 1,000 meters? Sorry, 1,000 meters. It'd be kilo, because kilometer is 1,000 meters. The next one, blank meter equals 10 meters. Which one up above, which metric prefix equals 10 meters? It's deca. Decameter is 10 meters. Alright, C, 1/10 of a meter. So blank meter equals 1/10 of a meter. We're looking for what would equal 1/10 of a meter. If you had 10 of them, it would equal a meter. It's deci. If you had 10 decimeters, if you had 10 of them, that would equal 1 meter. Deci, D-E-C-I. 100 meters, blank meter equals 100 meters. That would be hecto. A hectometer is 100 meters. Which one does it take 1,000 to equal 1 meter? That's our next one. Blank meter equals 1/1000th of a meter. It's the milli. Millimeter, 1/1000th of a meter. And the last one for 1F, 1/100th. If you had 100 of these, it would equal a meter. It's your centi. (2A) gives you 3 different measurements, and it tells you to circle the longest measurement in each row. So we have 5 millimeters, 5 centimeters, and 5 meters. You need to know which one would be the longest. They're all equal in their number. They're all 5. So we just need to know which one is the longest, a millimeter, a centimeter, or a meter. It is 5 meters. You need to circle where it says 5 meters. 2B, still looking for the longest measurement. The question says, let's see, which one is longest? 25 decimeters, 25 decameters, or 25 millimeters? The answer is going to be 25 decameters. Next one, 100 kilometers, 100 centimeters, or 100 meters. Remember, kilometers is kind of like the English measurement of the mile. Kilometers is going to be the biggest here, 100 kilometers. 100 kilometers. 2D, 44 centimeters, 44 millimeters, or 44 meters. The answer is 44 meters. Last one on this page, 2E, 5 hectometers, 50 meters, or 500 millimeters. This is a little tricky because the numbers are different on this one, 5, 50, and 500. Let's take it and let's put it all into the same metric measure. Let's make it all meters. So 5 hectometers, we know that 1 hectometer is 100 meters. 5 hectometers would then be 5 times 100. So the first one we're talking about 500 meters, 5 hectometers. Well, the second one's already in meters. It says 50 meters. So we're talking about 50 meters. And the last one, 500 millimeters. Well, 1,000 millimeters is a meter. So we're only talking about 500 here, so we're seeing half of a meter. Of these, which one's biggest? Obviously the 500, so you need to circle, well, not 500, but on your page you're circling 5 hectometers. 5 hectometers. On 3, they're asking us to match. Draw lines to the correct symbols or abbreviations. 3A, I'm just going to talk you through this. Decimeter, you need to draw a line from decimeter to DM. B, centimeter, you need to draw a line to CM. C, millimeter, draw a line straight across. MM. Decameter, draw a line up to the top to DAM. Hectometer, draw a line all the way to the bottom on the other side to HM. And then the last one, kilometer, is KM. And if you're ever driving somewhere where they don't use the English form of measurement and they use metric forms of measurements, you know, we drive around now and we see signs up, and we go down the road and we'll maybe see a sign saying 35 miles to Hana. And would it say, what would it say, Aaron? M? Miles? Yeah, I think or it'd spell out miles. But if you go somewhere else where their major use of measurements is in the metric system, their signs are going to say km or kilometers. All right. You guys go ahead and do the rest on your own. And you need to know that a rat can go without water longer than a camel can. And camels, they're known for going a long time without water. But a rat can go even longer. So hopefully that helps you to finish strong and finish up the rest of page 88.